Hello and welcome again to Red Gaming Tech for yet more binary news, your daily dose of focused gaming news. Myself, Marta. Today is still the 4th of August and I have some news for you regarding Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. As of course, the graphics are particularly impressive this time around, especially after the so-so graphics of Call of Duty Ghosts. And there is no doubt that Advanced Warfare was targeted for the next-gen hardware, and the results, well, the proof is in the pudding. So, how was this achieved? Well, Sledgehammer's Joe Salud recently spoke on this topic to VentureBeat, and he said, quote, "We have a tack that we like to call physical based here. We've done tons of research on how to achieve that. There are 3 basic pillars that make that reality. You have to have HDR, you have to have this thing called physical based shading, and you have to have something called physical based lighting. To make a long story short, what we do is everything is based on physical values. We let the renderer do all the calculation as to how shiny something is, how matte something is. They're related to each other. It's using less of the individual artist's eye to decide on the granular details and more of the engine procedurally doing a lot of that." And then they were asked basically how full performance capture plays a role, or was it just face capture or even just motion capture? And Salud said, quote, "To touch on it from a high level, performance capture has been huge. We've done a couple of layers that are different from previous games. You capture the performance, obviously, from the face, and then on top of that we have what we call wrinkle maps, depending on the musculature or the muscle movement. The skin also moves on top of that. It's not just geometry moving, it's geometry simulating muscle performance and the skin on top of that. We also have a skin shader that receives the light on a scientific level." And then Aaron Holon has also said, quote, "One of the interesting things about realism and environment art from a production standpoint, which is new for me when overseeing the team and the artists and designers. You talk about going out and capturing facial, but even for the environment we are capturing real-world lighting with real-world materials. That was a big part of this physical base. For Collapse, it's obviously there in our backyard. We had the art team go out to Golden Gate Bridge and do a lot of colour grading tests. For other, more exotic locations, we would find proxies. We'd go on a ship or something like that for things like the later part of the San Francisco levels." So there you have it, a little bit of a lowdown on the driving force, the horsepower behind the very shiny graphics of Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. What's really going to be interesting, of course, is how it's going to look on the PC versus next gen, of course. That is what I'm curious about anyway, as of course next gen, from what we've seen, looks good, but how's it going to look next to the PC? That's going to be the real test of Sledgehammer's skill at getting all this shiny graphics to really shine. Anyway, that is me done for this video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.